Hello YouTube, this is Jason, aka Bit Junky. I hope this video finds you doing well. It is Monday, January the 29th, 2018. Today I want to talk about the state of cryptocurrency and the market from my viewpoint. I've been involved since October, started my research sometime in August and September, and I have thoughts on where it's at. Um, the person on your left on the screen is Jim Cohan. That's my partner. I'm Jason Royal, aka Bit Junky, over there on the right. We form Cryptunite Global, and it's basically a cryptocurrency enthusiast group. We talk cryptos in there in the group. We discuss everything, and sharing experiences, like-minded people sitting at the table talking. And you should join the group. It's a lot of good information being passed around in there. So, and we have a lot of things planned for the future, and so it's a good thing to join. The website's still under construction, but it does work. If you go to the website, it will pull up a beta version of the site to be filled in, but there is something there, so I'm not just pulling your leg every time we do a video. All right, so you can take a look at that if you like. And to join the Facebook group, there will be a link in the description box for that. All right. So this is an interesting video to do. I am still traveling, so I'm not local. I'm not back at my office yet. So I'm doing this remotely, and I don't have the ideal setup to shoot a video. But I didn't want to go too long without talking to the people, so that's why I'm doing this. And I also really wanted to get into it because we just had our first sponsored event. Some of you came out, and I got a chance to meet you, and it was an awesome event. I actually have some pictures. Let's take a look at a couple of pictures here. Okay, so the young lady all the way on the left, that's Brittany. She sung "God Bless America" pregame at the track, and that's me looking kind of silly because I didn't know what to do with my hands. I don't know if I knew they were taking that picture, but I didn't know what to do with my hands. And but I am representing that Cryptunite Global. I don't know what you call that kind of jacket, but it's there's a name for that jacket. And that's the Dodger great manager Tommy Lasorda right there on my right. He was there. He came up to the owner's box and hung out. He knows Jim pretty good, so he's done a lot of events with Jim. So that's pretty cool hanging out with him. He's an interesting guy. We had the Cryptunite Global signs posted in various places all around the track, so we were there in full effect. That's me and my wife, Callie, and Jim's telling us something really, really important that's about to happen with Ethereum. Not really at all. I don't know what we were talking about. Probably something on the track blowing up. And there's the group picture that we took. We met at Victory Lane. There was a really bright light shining in our face. Again, I didn't know what to do with my hands. Let's see. From the right going left, I may not remember everyone's name. The gentleman, that's his girlfriend that starts out on the right, but then that's Eric, and then Jack, and then Peter behind Jack with the glasses, and then that's Jim standing next to me, and that's Doug with his face between ours. That's Callie, my wife, right there. And then we've got Scott back there holding up the Cryptunite Global t-shirt. I appreciate that, Scott. And then standing next to Scott is Stevie. And I forgot Stevie's cousin's name and his sons, but yeah, it was a good time meeting some of you. After I guess you guys watched the videos, so it was really, really cool to get a chance to talk to you. And here's Jim talking to Eric and Scott, and Callie's, I don't know what she's doing in the background with Stevie there. And right there, David's telling us something super important. I don't know what he was telling. I think we were talking about ICOs right there. So, and Scott's intently listening. And then there was some fireworks at the end. It was the biggest fireworks show I might have ever seen. I mean, Jim and those guys, they went all out with the fire show at the end. It was gorgeous. Some of them were flying a little low, but we were far enough away from it that I don't think anyone was burned. But it was pretty cool. And then this was awesome. They brought a giant van in and melted it with a jet engine on the back of that truck, and that's an awesome picture. So, and there's the track. Those were the 6,000 or 7,000 people that had me terrified at the beginning when I was standing up there and I said a thing or two. So it was a great event. It was good for everyone to come out. I love meeting you all, and there'll be plenty more events coming up in the future. Let's see. First things first. Bitcoin. Yeah, we'll look at the chart in a second. As a matter of fact, let's look at the chart now. We're still in a channel. Actually, we had a little break to the upside here, so I would think that we would kind of bounce off this and head up. But we're still in such a narrow channel. This thing is consolidated pretty good. I mean, our daily range has gotten extremely small. So this thing is poised for a breakout. This, for me, is untradeable. My fundamentals, maybe not fundamentals, my fundamental strategy based on technicals would tell me that this is going to break to the upside. But the market tends to do exactly what you think it's not going to do, and it's not very. I only like to trade the market when it's very predictable. That's when you put the odds in your favor, and that's the only way you're going to win, 60-70% of your trades is to keep the odds in your favor. I don't like this scenario right here where it's set up to break out and explode. It's like a spring, and it's just being coiled and coiled and coiled and coiled really, really tight, and it's going to explode. And you don't want to get caught in the wrong direction on that deal. I've been involved in that, when you buy it or sell it in the wrong direction and you lose your money instantaneously. I remember, we won't go into long stories, but I'll tell you, when I first started trading, I didn't trade without a stop loss. And the saying was to trade with a mental stop is like trading with no stop loss at all. Because if you're saying, I'm just going to stop it when it gets to a certain point, you'll talk yourself out of realizing that loss, and you don't have a stop loss, and you can blow your entire account. And I had myself in a position to get into a trade with no stop loss. And I thought about that, and I took the trade off. No less than, 10 minutes later, my screen blinked, and then the price blipped down maybe 400 pips. And I don't remember how much money I had in the account at the time, but I would have lost I might have owed them money. I've never seen it since, but in one tick or two ticks of the market, it dropped 300 or 400 pips. It was instantaneous. I don't remember what that was. It was on news, probably back in 2009. And oh my God, I was so glad I wasn't in that trade. And that I've never traded without a stop loss since, ever. So, yeah, trading without a stop loss or with a mental stop loss is like trading with no stop loss at all. So you got to be careful with that. But this is not a tradable event for me. I'd like to see what price does from here to determine when you can get in. Okay, so I mean, some people have momentum strategies and breakout strategies. I do not. It only represents 10% of the market that it's doing that anyway. So I'm okay with just missing that part of the market. When that's going on, I'm more than happy to put my hands in my pockets and stand on the sidelines. All right. So, the profit trader bot. A lot of you are asking about that, especially in the group. Guys, I have been traveling nonstop. I left on Friday, flying. Then I was back and forth hotel into Jim's house on Saturday. Sunday I traveled. I'm in San Diego right now visiting family. And I'm, I've got the makeshift office thing going on here right now. And then I fly tomorrow. So Wednesday or Thursday of this week, I'll be back in front of the computer at my desk, and we can really get into the profit trailer. We did not forget about it. It's completely in the plans for this week. It's just, I'm doing a lot of traveling and not really able to set it up and do it the right way and shoot the video right now. Okay. So we'll get to it very, very soon. So let's talk about the state of crypto. This weekend, I got to see Jim for the first time, and we talk every day, but I had a chance to sit with him and be with him at his house, and just kind of really, we went out to eat several times, and we just really had a chance to talk face to face and kind of map this thing out, and what do we think is happening in the space. And I don't know. Cryptocurrency right now, I think, is a very, very risky and not scary, but you have to be very careful in this space. There is absolutely not enough transparency, and the solid opportunities seem to be few and far between. And a lot of it could be from the actors that are in the space. I think a lot of it also is because it's unregulated and the reach is so far with the internet and social media and the only reason that a lot of you that are listening to this video right now even listen to me is because you saw a video on YouTube. I'm just a regular guy that lives on the East Coast, and I did a couple videos, and now I'm at an event in California meeting people that have been listening to my voice, right? So that's the time that we live in. And I think what's happened here is there's so many scams. The risk profile for a lot of this stuff that we're looking at is just not really good, and the confidence level is very low, and admittedly, it's rightfully so. I don't feel good about a lot of the stuff we've done. I felt good about it going in, and as I'm sitting here today, a lot of it was a lot of empty promises. I'm not going to get into the, really like the specifics of what's going on. We started in USI Tech. We did BitConnect. We're in Devore. And, it's just, I don't know. I don't feel really, really great about the space. The lending platforms, as a person that traded and saw the potential in trading and algorithm-based trading and trading bots, I was very optimistic about the lending platforms, because if done correctly, all this stuff is possible. And see, guys, the thing about the lending platforms you have to remember, they don't promise any type of interest rate. If you gave me $10,000 and I said, hey, I'm going to go trade your money, right? And I trade it every day. And let's say I make 2%. I take 20% and put it away as reserves. So out of 2%, that'd be 0.4%. So I've got 1.6 left. And let's say I keep half and I give you half. You make 0.8. But tomorrow, if I only make 1% and I take 20% out for reserves, you make 0.4. If I only make 0.4% and I take 20% out for reserves, you only make 0.16. If you're doing things the right way, the interest rate should adjust for itself. My money should always be available to come back to me because you're trading. And trading, if you're day trading, these trades are entered and exited typically in the same day. And if they're not, you should detail that to me. And, like Devore, they're doing arbitrage. Arbitrage is instantaneous because you already have a seller and a buyer. It's all about execution and slippage, how fast you can execute the trade at a set price. Again, those are settled within the moment. So a lot of the complications that I'm seeing in the lending platforms and some of the red flags that are popped up as time goes on, in the model that I'm thinking in my mind, I don't see why it's there. And I don't know if that's that the math is bad as much as it could just be not the proper actors in the space executing things. And we saw that with BitConnect. And we don't know how that, I'm taking a wait and see on BitConnect. We'll see in the big picture how it all pans out, because I am still holding the coins. And someone asked me on the comment section, what did I do with my BitConnect coins? To answer your question, I didn't get to it. I'm sorry. But mine are still in the wallet on the BitConnect system. I just looked at them today for the first time in probably a week. So they're still there, and I'm just holding them. I just want to see what happens with the market. I use risk capital going in. Risk capital is money that you can afford to lose. So I'm going to wait for the highest profit exit, which could be nothing. It could go to zero and they could disappear, and then it's a complete loss. When that's what risk capital is, but I'm going to wait it out for a better exit, not at $7 as it is today. Right. So I don't feel great about the platforms. I've been watching Devore coins, the movement in price. A lot of people say, hey, what does that mean? It could mean a couple things. My thoughts on it. Let's go on the negative side. It could mean that, people are pulling out of the coin. You can watch the volume. At one point, it ticked up to $7 million a day, and now it's around 2 million. And a lot of that is the number one player in the lending market disappearing, in the way that they did it has crushed confidence in the space. And, that could really hurt the platform, even if they were trying to do it the right way. Because, you can't have number one in the space fall the way that it fell, and go away. So we've got issues on the lending side. The confidence level has to be at an all-time low, and it was already, highly speculative to begin with. So it's not a really good feeling in the space when it comes to that. We're in Devore. We did, in my opinion, what would be the highest probable winning strategy, which would be go with the shortest uh, capital release payback term by investing the most money. And I think we've received about a third of the money back already just through the interest payments, and we've been doing daily withdrawals from it. So we've actually cashed out that money, and it's still a thriving platform. I mean, well, it's still a performing platform. We never had any problem getting money out, and it's still paying out daily, so it's still going. Oh, the good side that could be with the coin value dropping. I gave the negative side. Here's the good side possibility is that I detailed in a BitConnect video a long time ago, the formula of how, if they write loans when the coin's a lower price, by the time they have to pay the capital release back in the future and the value's raised, they have to give you back less coins than you gave them when you loaned them to them. So it behooves them to have how would I say, if they're writing less loans today because the confidence is down and they're obviously not doing the same volume that they were doing a month or two ago, it behooves them to have a lower price coin so that when they do loans, those loans they're taking back more coins for the same amount of money, so that if the coin value goes up at a later date, they can when it's time to pay the capital release, they can give you less coins than they took from you at the beginning. So it's a more profitable strategy for them. So maybe they're manipulating price to make that happen. That could be on the good side for the sustainability of the platform. Me personally, I'm not putting too much thought into it. I'm already in it. I'm just going to kind of watch it and see how it goes. But being perfectly honest, Jim and I talked about it all weekend long. And, we're pretty neutral. I'm trying not to be, you don't want to start rooting for things because when you get involved with stuff, you can get a little jaded, or, you can pick a side. I'm not trying to be that way, but just looking at it objectively, I'm just going to take a wait and see approach. We'll see. But I don't feel great about lending in general. The confidence level being so low across the board is not good for the industry. Okay. So, and then, a lot of people are asking me, why don't we just, look into ICOs? Well, when you start really looking into ICOs, there's just not enough information. It's an unregulated space. A lot of them aren't legal in America. And guys, I'm a tax-paying citizen. I do things kind of the right way. As far as my taxes, I went and saw my accountant, 2 weeks ago about how I'm supposed to handle taxes in the crypto space. I try and do things the right way. So I'm not trying to duck taxes, and I'm not trying to do things that are illegal in the country. So a lot of the ICO offerings we can't get involved with to begin with. And then a lot of the other ones, there's just not really enough information. You can't really research the people behind it because a lot of them, there's a anonymity that goes with it. And that's inherent in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. So, you deal with that, but you're still just speculating. And in my opinion, it's just as risky as joining a lending platform. It's a crapshoot. And for every good one that you find, that you have really good information on who the developers are, what their goal is, what the roadmap is, and all that good stuff, there's 10 that aren't that way. So it's hard to navigate that space. And I don't want to become a trader again. In this market right now, as we've analyzed it, mining is payment for services rendered, which is a fundamental business of the space, which you can do, but it requires an intensive amount of investment to really get going and make an impact. You could go with a hash flare or a Genesis mining. You can do that. Those are less profitable. Block difficulties going up. Price isn't matching. It's not raising at the same rate as it was before, so it's not quite as profitable. And if you want to start your own rigs and do things that way, it's cost prohibitive for most people. We're exploring the space. We're putting a plan together. We're definitely interested in that side of the space, but it's going to be a lot of work, and we've got a lot of infrastructure to create, and it's going to be a process, So, and then trading, 95% of people that day trade, lose all of their money in the market. Say that one more time. 95% of people that day trade lose all of their investment in the market, not some. So trading is just not a feasible strategy for most people. I walked away from trading on a burnout level. I'm a good trader. I'm in the 5% that could make a profit trading. I can't trade for everybody. I don't want to trade for everybody. I don't want that pressure, and I don't like the strain that it puts on your life to be a good trader. So we're going to try the trading bots, and I'm optimistic for them, in the near future. I'm very curious of how they're going to perform in the long term, because, the thing about it is really large banks, JP Morgan and all your Wall Street banks, they employ entire departments whose job, their engineers and their traders to rewrite these algorithms and keep the way that their systems trade up to date with market conditions. And these are the people that you compete against. And I don't know who's writing the software for the bots, but, those things may work great now. But I'm curious as how it's going to perform as time goes on. So we're going to get the profit trailer. We're going to get the add-on extension that does the automatic updates to keep it up to date with the current market conditions. And we're going to trade it, and we're going to see what the results turn out to be. But I don't want this to be a doom and gloom video. But I mean, as I look at the cryptocurrency space, your realistic options on profiting in this market right now without an exorbitant amount of risk is mining, trading, which, does, if you can do it profitably, that's great. But it's not really easy to do for 9 out of 10 people. And buy and hold, but you have to do your research on your coins. So it's me and Jim are rethinking everything right now. It's navigating this space is very difficult, and it's growing by billions of dollars and soon to be into trillions of dollars, because you can't put this technology back in the box. The box is open. It's out of the bag. Where cryptocurrency is the future. So you can't put it back in the bag. But the key is to figure out how are we going to profit on this in the best way. And that's what we're coming at it in the safest way possible within. I mean, it's a risk. All investments are inherently risky. You never get into anything with, risking more than you can afford to lose. But we want to approach this, the safest way with, the calculated risk. The interesting thing about that is we invested in something else. Like, we did a risk profile for everything that we've been involved in. And the thing that came out with the lowest risk profile is something that we jumped into back in December. And we're always looking for opportunities that pay us in cryptocurrencies. And specifically, it's been Bitcoin. So it's all about accumulating more Bitcoin. And we had one product that we jumped into in December, but I never brought it to you guys because me and Jim could never get comfortable with it because it has a network marketing component to it. But we did the due diligence. The CEO talked to us. He said he'd be willing to come on and do an interview. The transparency that you look for, everything, all the boxes checked. But I really don't like network marketing. So, I didn't want to feel like I'm the network marketing guy. So over the weekend, we said, you know what? That thing we looked at in December actually turned out to be probably the safest thing that we had. And we didn't feel comfortable taking it to the people. So if you guys want to hear about what that is, let me know in the comment section and in the community, and we'll tell you about it. But, like I said, it does have a network marketing component. It's not for everybody. So it is not, listen to me, people. This is not for everybody. Okay. It's about, getting out there and doing some work, but it does enable people that don't have a lot of money to start up with an ability that if you're willing to do some work, you can earn some Bitcoin, and it's relatively safer than anything we've done so far. So if you guys want to know about that, let me know and we'll do it. But ongoing in the background, this is what we're doing. We're reevaluating what's going on out here. And we're really trying to find the best angle. We're in Hashflare. It's still performing. My tera hashes have gone up from 7 to 11. but I'm mining $5 per day less value in Bitcoin, and that's a lot of that is because of the price of Bitcoin, but also the block difficulty. And those contracts and stuff, they're just not as profitable now. They're still profitable though, but they're just not as profitable. So I don't know. It's just the state of cryptocurrency right now is there's not enough transparency, and a lot of the opportunities out there are very, very risky. And we're looking for better ways, and we're looking at things inside the community too. You guys are putting some really good stuff up there, and behind the scenes we're looking at some of that stuff. But we're trying to tighten up this ship. So I don't know. we're still reviewing things. So there'll be more information to come. We're going to keep doing trading videos for you that want to learn how to trade. I'm not abandoning you. We're going to keep doing those videos. We're going to get the profit trailer out there, and we're going to track the progress. And that thing comes out and does 3% a day every day for 8 months. We'll be the happiest group ever. and we're going to look for other things within the space. We've got mining going on, and we're looking to get in on a more roots, kind of a deeper roots kind of a level, more infrastructure level. And we have a couple other things that we're looking at. The network marketing based program that gives you a real asset in exchange, and it's a pretty good program, and I like it. But again, I'm a little network marketing averse, so it's not for everybody, but it's a very safe model and a great way to earn Bitcoin. So if you guys want to know about that, let us know. I know this video was pretty long. I didn't really talk about much, but that's what's been on my mind. I'll be traveling in the morning. I have a flight at 5, or no, I leave here at 5 to go catch my flight a.m. So I'll be pretty unavailable all day tomorrow. And I'll probably be slow responding to any comments in the comment section, as I have been for the last couple of days. But like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification so that you get notifications whenever we're making a new video. And it's good talking to y'all. I will talk to you real soon. Thank you.